integrating literacy and numeracy. In this centre, literacy and numeracy is everybody's job. We see it as part of everybody's role because we teach vocational skills. We have dedicated literacy and numeracy tutors, but every other subject that we teach, hairdressing, catering, engineering, computers, pottery, art, textiles, all have literacy and numeracy as part of that subject. And it's a matter for those tutors to recognise where the literacy and numeracy is and emphasise it and name it for what it is. That if you're measuring, you're using maths. And it makes those things more real to the learner, that they can see a usefulness, because a lot of them had a bad experience of learning maths and maybe even learning reading and writing. And if they can see the usefulness of it, that it helps them to do the things they want to do, well then they're more likely to buy into it. Teamwork is an absolute first requirement to integrate literacy and numeracy, because you want the whole staff team working together. And if your whole staff team are working together on their major goal of helping the learners to achieve, the learners are going to have a much better experience. But you're going to get more out of your staff because they'll support each other. It'll be a more pleasant workplace for a start, because if you have colleagues who are thinking the same way as you are, it's easier to work in an environment like that. In order for that to happen, as the manager, I have to take responsibility to allow time for them to meet. The other thing is we split some of the subjects up so that more than one person is teaching a subject. Martin, who's our engineering instructor, is an obvious person to teach part of the level 4 maths. And he enjoys it, he loves it. Anne-Marie O'Neill happens to be very good at teaching maths. She's the pottery tutor. She teaches maths. Gail is the clerical assistant. And she assists in maths and she does one-to-one support, particularly around finance. It's a very logical thing for her. And Anne-Marie Mahon, who's the literacy and numeracy tutor, teaches maths.
So when you're ready, off you go. Yeah, 45 degrees. Well, maths is the taboo subject in community training. I don't care what anybody says. Maths is the problem area, and we've seen it here over the years that learners would have all of their subjects complete for their full FETAC certification except their maths. So what we tried to do then was integrate maths all over the training centre, right? And so we started the manual arc welding course in August, and when we pointed out the maths that were involved in it, the lads were absolutely frightened, and yet they were doing this the whole time.
Maths in the manual arc welding, degrees, the angle of the rod that you're holding at is 45 degrees, the measurement, the tape that you have to cut the steel in, the temperature is hot or cold, like the rod might be hot. The current is 220 volts, 110 volts and 65 to 80 volts. AC, DC, the current and electricity. There's a 12 gauge, 10 gauge and a 8 gauge welding rods. Amps 100 procs for 10 gauge rods. Resistance, Ohm's law and the speed that you're travelling at with the rod.
You went from a 12 gauge rod, which is a thicker rod, down to 10 gauge rod. To change the voltage down to 80 volts, it's just a smaller rod. Proper weld understand.
We introduced, I'd say, probably in excess of 100 new words, but we're also making the foundation stronger for the maths, and I think that's the key. And we've also, with the fact that they're doing this, the fear of maths is now gone.
It becomes a way of life once you start doing it. Maths is everywhere. Opening up how we teach maths was important. The other thing, and I cannot emphasise too much, the safety aspect, that it's okay to say I don't know how to do that, and that's for staff to be able to say I don't know how to do that, and that somebody else will say well I'll show you. And so we have staff teaching each other maths so that they can teach the learners maths, and you have to give time for that.
It takes 32 rollers for an average head. Sometimes it takes more, sometimes it takes less. Section the hair. You put 12 front to back, centre of the head, 10 to each side, 40 minutes at 50 degrees.
Okay, Helen, we need to order the chicken for tomorrow. The boys are going to football, so we need to get the rolls ordered and on for them. Okay, we've got 25 boys, and there are 20 pieces of chicken in a box. So how many boxes do you think we'll need?
About one box, no, about 2 boxes. So.
2 boxes, okay.
Yeah.
They take 45 minutes to cook. So if we put them on at 9:30, if you go on 45 minutes, what time is that?
10:15.
10:15, good girl. So that brings us up to 10:15. So we put them on at 9:30, take them out at 10:15, and they'll be ready to go, cooled off, and in the rolls for 10:30.
Just go and have a little look at that. Okay, now what you're doing is you're drawing that line across there. So what you're talking about is, you see the way you went 120 degrees.
Yeah.
Now you're going to
Do 190.
Beautiful.
1.64 for 2 yogurts. 1.64
64
equals,
that'd be 92 cents.
right, plus 98, we forgot about the other yogurt, plus 98 cent, plus naught,
Not
pint, 98
98
equals,
equals.
what's the answer? What is it?
It's 39.
3.90.
3.90.
Yeah, that's how much we're going to have. Yeah, 3.90 exactly. So we'll go to the shop now?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. We'll put that into the bag. We'll go and get the receipt off, money off Gabe. Well,
Yeah.
good girl. Now we'll go to Gabe and get the money.
So when they would get their blood pressure done, it's usually 120 over 60, and they would know that that's how fast the blood is going around the heart and returning to it, you know. They'd know what their heart rate was, they'd have to check their own wrists or somebody else's, they'd work in a pair, and that would, they'd find out how many beats per minute somebody has. If they go out walking, they could check their heart rate before they go out and when they come back in. You know, it's done more in a normal setting. It's not like a numeracy class or anything else. It's more to do with what you need to be fit.
Well, I conduct the induction with the learners as they come into the centre, and I use this book here, and it's information regarding given to the learners on what we do here and making it simpler for them to understand things. After going through this booklet, that we actually work on an induction activity pack, we call it, and it's just whatever information we had already gone through here, we actually work on it through here with skimming words, finding paragraphs, information in paragraphs, calculations, hours that they do here, it would be through the calculation, and also calculating your own allowances. Through the book, it's the FETAC is actually mapped onto levels 1 to 3 during the assessment, so we actually then can base our tuition on the level that they might be at that time. I also changed actually the safety and hygiene booklet because the one we did have previous it was just a lot of information in it that wouldn't be relevant to centre, so I based it on information that would be used within the centre here. To make it easier, I made it through pictures, and so it'd be more interesting that catch the eye first, and it'd be simpler for the learners then to actually be interested in maybe reading it and working it with you.
I'd have to say that teamwork is hard work in the beginning. Once everyone is buying into it, it's brilliant. But it isn't just about maths and literacy, it's about everything that you do. We get so used to doing them that you don't always see that all those small steps add up to moving that learner from where they came in, at the level they came in, to the level we want them to leave at, which is at least up 1, hopefully 2. And that's the goal. That's what we said in our business plan that we would do, assist our learners to achieve certification, and that's why the staff are here.